If you have your north node in the sign of Virgo, or your north node is located in the sixth house of your natal chart, this reading is for you. Right away, I can tell there's a spiritual question or like something that you've come across, kind of like a riddle, that when you untangle that knot, it can grow into something kind of big, and like bold is a word that I heard. It can grow into something. There's gold in it, there's wisdom, there's truth, there's knowledge, but like this thing is, it really has you at a block. So I'm going to show you the cards that I have. I don't know if it's going to zoom. I've been having, or some, I don't know if it's going to focus, but I've been having some troubles with it lately, so I like don't want to fight with it. But it's runic dice, gazebo, and the question mark box, which always makes me laugh. I don't know if you've watched the show Dark Matter, but that's very much what that is. And then I have two cards here from the Archetypes deck, and then Spirit had me pull two cards to reveal with you. The first card from the Archetypes deck is Orphan, and then the Shaman. So this first deck, I don't know if I mentioned, that's from the Green Glyphs Oracle. If you're interested, I use all of the decks that I use. I believe all of them that you guys see are linked in the description. Please let me know if you have any questions about that. But Green Glyphs is a deck that I really felt called to for you, and it makes a lot of sense because the Orphan and the Shaman, like what you are, I'm hearing some of you might not be aware of this, but the question that you have that you're trying to kind of search for an answer for, this is a very elusive question. It's something that you might not even be able to articulate. Like maybe it's not presenting to you as a question more than it's presenting to you as like an issue. Like this is like, and like the way that Spirit is showing it to me is kind of like a ball of energy. So you might be able to actually feel it in your body somewhere. That's interesting. But whatever it is, I think that you know that it is connected to this this feeling that you don't belong, and this feeling of like searching. And this is like the spiritual path, right? Like this is what we kind of experience and what we go through, where you embody the seeker for some time, right? And in that process, you are searching for answers. You're searching. There's just a lot of questions, and it can feel very daunting. It can feel really scary at certain times. But it is a process that we all go through when we have, and Spirit gave me the word initiation. So yeah, it would be like a process of initiation when you are experiencing a spiritual awakening of some type. Thank you, Spirit. However that looks for you. And I also want to, wherever you're at on your journey, I want to also add that like this seeking chapter or initiation, right? This happens more than once for some folks. Like this is something that spiritual people, people who follow kind of like a non-institutionalized form of spirituality, something that's a little bit more like universal, something that's, kind of that blend of the, the science, the unknown and the known, and, the kind of getting in between, getting into the sacred gray, getting into the, what's in between the polarities there. Everybody has to go through this, and many of us have to go through it more than once. So wherever you're at on your journey, if you're seeing this, especially, like, you're in the right place. That's why I'm here. Okay. Also, I want to take that as an opportunity, because I did mention, my name is Astrid. Welcome. I'm a psychic oracle and mentor, and this is the Sacred Gray. So we're going to take a look at the two cards that Spirit, had me pull out for you, but not look at. I want to, before I flip these over, point out that the Shaman is a very powerful card, and in my own experience has shown up at pivotal points. Okay, so I'll just leave that there. It is a powerful and very potent energy that comes with the Shaman. Okay, so I can see you kind of transforming and transcending into a time where I think there's ancestral wisdom and knowledge, things that are connected to your lineage that are coming forth at this time. Thank you, Spirit. So the two cards that I have out are Well, this is beautiful and makes a lot of sense. Wow. Okay. So Starborn and Agape. Again, these are from Kim Cran's Archetypes deck. That makes a lot of sense. So let's unpack that really quick. Agape is a card of initiation. Okay. Agape is asking you, Agape is a card of initiation, full body chills. This is it. This is asking you what it is that you are worshiping, and just to kind of put into question where God is in your life, and what, is it something that is within you, or is it something external? Sometimes, Spirit brings us to a point where it's like we feel so lost. So it's like, where do you put your devotions? What are you devoted to? Do you have like devotions? What is a devotion? Like, where everything becomes a question, right? And so at that point on the journey, and again, this happens at different points, and, sometimes it can be really scary if you're in one place, and then other times it's a lot less scary. There's a lot more clarity. But from what I can see here, you are being asked to place your faith in a deity, or in a being, this is a deeply spiritual message. I don't often get, when I'm doing readings for North Node placements, I don't often get messages that are this like esoteric. So I want to applaud you, because I know that this is kind of a weird place to be. But you're doing all right. You're doing just fine. Okay. Excuse me. I want to also point out, he's really hot. I want to also point out that I have this like feeling in my stomach, and Virgo does rule the stomach. I am fasting today, but this is not like a normal thing. It's kind of like the upper area. And Virgo does rule the stomach. So something to kind of think about. I don't know, just whatever that means to you if you're having stomach issues. With the Starborn, let's talk about that really quick. The Starborn is a card that invites you to kind of find inner wisdom and alchemize it into something that kind of spreads to the larger collective in whatever way that looks for you. Like, there's something here for you to share. And I do want to just take a look at the guidebook for it, because I can't remember. I thought that the Eternal Child was the only card in the deck that mentions fame, but the Starborn, now that I think about it, might actually also mention fame. Oh yes, okay, the Divine Child, Star Child, the Destined. Wow, with Agape, are you kidding me? This is crazy. Okay. An elusive yet radiant aspect of the self. The Starborn, I don't know if I said the word elusive. I filmed this a couple of times. I might have in another take. The Starborn archetype points to the cosmic spark of light, inspiration, that arrives within each being at birth. The moment the newborn crowns, whether, I don't really want to, I'm on TikTok, and you got to be really careful what you say over there. So the moment the newborn crowns, we know what that means. The royal star above are said to constellate in a unique shape that maps our path in the world. The idea of destiny is controversial, yet the Starborn naturally feels a sense of destination and purpose, aiming itself towards a future that is beyond the mundane. When this card appears, travel back to your birth story for clues and insights, meaning your natal chart. What did you desire when you were young? Or maybe not, I don't know, but you're here, so you're following your North Node. Kudos. Practice seeing your life from a mythic point of view rather than a series of logistics. Read the story of the three fates and envision yourself born under the stars with a unique destiny. When in light, a light, trusting, vibrant, aimed. When in dark, feeling misalignment, loss of longing. Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Kim Krantz. So yeah, it's almost like, and the Starborn alongside these are like crazy. Like this is a powerful deck, but like these are crazy cards to get like all together. Like what's going on? Okay. The Starborn alongside the Orphan, this is really giving you a clue into how to alchemize like a wound that you gained in time in an effort to kind of create something. I'm seeing something kind of like growing from you, and that's that acorn, you know, something that you can really grow into something that is profound, right? That you at this moment don't really have a grasp on, and that's okay. Spirit's saying that's okay, right? It's okay for this box to remain a question for some time. Okay. So I want to get into the cross. Okay, 6 of Swords popping out there. We're going to take that. Okay. Okay, so for you, I have the 2 of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Cups as what's crossing you. Yeah. I just want to stop there for a second. That makes a lot of sense, because you know, there is this, you know, lack of direction that you would be experiencing in such a grand kind of spiritual moment, right? With the 6 of Swords being the card that pops out right away, it's like, you know, you very much are in a place of readiness and willingness, thank you, Spirit, to move forward. And, you know, I keep hearing the word alchemize. Move forward from the story, thank you, where, you know, you were in this place and now you're in this place and you want to get to that place, you know, like you got yourself so far, collective, you know, and now you're ready to go even farther. But that which is, you know, your mode of transportation or what is offering you insight or clarity, right, is actually, it might actually feel as if it's making things a little bit more confusing, right? So let's get recent past for you. I have death. That's beautiful. Near future, I have the 9 of Pentacles. Oh, so good. Okay, what's beneath you? The Ace of Pentacles, 2 aces. We've got a major arcana. We've got Pentacles here. This is gorgeous. What is above you? We have Justice. Okay, we'll talk about that. Internal, we've got the Fool. Overall outcome, we've got the 7 of Swords. Okay, and then the 3 of Swords here at the bottom. What is your anchor, collective? There is something here that raises a flag for me. I'm not gonna lie, because some of this almost, okay, so, and this is kind of what this was where I was like, okay, we'll talk about this. But with the 7 of Swords as your outcome, in the 3 of Swords as your, getting a really nice frequency there. Okay, it's high. Things got quiet, and then just this beaming frequency, this super high pitched harmonic frequency came through. Thank you, Spirit. That's beautiful. Full body chills. Okay. I want to caution you, and I also want to preface this by saying that I do not want to project or cast any of your own. So please only take what resonates in all of my readings. You're participating at will, right? You take what you want and you leave what you don't. Okay. But I am going to just state there is a wound here that is active that I want to ensure is not your primary motivator, right? You can alchemize the womb, the womb. That's neat. Okay. You can alchemize the wound, right? You can alchemize the womb too. What are you creating, right? Some of you may have, you know, fertility issues, right? What are you taking out of the wound? What are you taking out of the womb, right? However that works for you. But if you're doing it in the name of justice, right? Like there becomes a kind of concern there because the ego becomes present. Now, I have a little spiel about this, which is like, you know, justice is not, I'm just going to keep it short, but like there is a line of thinking again, and I don't necessarily adhere to it, but I do find it to be useful in certain circumstances. Take take whatever resonates, okay, leave whatever doesn't. Where justice is kind of an illusion. It may be a man-made construct, you know? Think about that. Think about if justice actually serves you, your soul, your essence, especially as someone who is in such a cathartic spiritual place. Does it serve you, your soul, your essence, or does it actually serve your ego? Does it serve the wound? Does it prove a story, right? Of heartache. It's just the Three of Swords anchoring the deck there. That's, I don't want that to be your motivator, right? We want to move from a more healed place, collective. I want you to be happy. And I can see that you are someone who, you know, deeply desires fulfillment, and you've got a lot of opportunity here to create that fulfillment. But there's this element of like, I would encourage you to check into what actions you're taking out of fear. And I would encourage you also to kind of lean on your team as much as possible here. This can be a situation wherein you find yourself acting out of spite. And we don't want to do that. You know, we don't want to inflict harm on others in the name of what we deem to be correct, right? Okay, let's get some clarifiers here. Well, first, let's say, so for your internal and external factors here, I want to point out a couple of things. There is a part of you that wants to just go. There's a lot of raw energy around you, right? We got raw emotions. We got excitement towards creation. You know, we've got this kind of comfort that's coming in your near future, just coming off of a time of like, you know, possible fragility. But, you know, in your external factors, I see that there are things that are being demanded of you, right? You might be a parent, you might be a caregiver, or you might just have a really demanding job. There's something that is requiring your attention and nourishment that might be taking away from whatever energy you want to put into a new beginning, right? Alchemizing this kind of raw opportunity energy that I'm feeling from you. Hopes and fears, we have the Two of Wands. You know, you don't want to end up, you know, because this is kind of a lonely card. Like, he's looking out, I'll show you, he's looking out on like probably pretty barren land, trying to figure out where he's gonna lay his land. And there is this element of loneliness here. And with the Seven of Swords being the outcome, you know, there's this this is making me think of, you know, what I heard was fight or flight. Thank you, Spirit. There's this element of like, you know, a nervous system dysregulation in the face of acknowledging the wound, right? This orphan and the shaman is like, you have it within you. I mean, very much so with Agape and Starborn. Like, you have the power within you, collective, to move through this part of your journey from a place that is intentional and not spiteful, you know, not dealing harm among others, but rather moving from a gentle place. You have this within you. You absolutely do. We all do. But if we're feeling dysregulated, we can't really do that. You know, we can try, but the best, I mean, our greatest asset in really anything in life is a regulated nervous system. And so with these few cards here, like I'm seeing some dysregulation, which how can I blame you? Like, again, we've got death in your recent past. So there is an element here of like, you are closing it. You have closed a chapter. Death sometimes is not always very kind. Death sometimes is not always very gentle, which is, you know, the guidance that I am providing to you that's coming through this reading at this time. And that can be, yeah, like kind of moving from like I'm hearing brutality. Spirit is giving me the word brutal. So if it felt like a brutal education or it felt like a brutal experience, right? And you're just coming out of that. Yeah, I understand. I get it. Okay, let's get some clarifiers. So we're going to do for self. We have the Page of Wands, crossing, the Lovers. This is kind of anchoring you. There might be someone in your surroundings that's kind of giving you guidance that maybe you're not in agreement with. Let's get clarity, recent past. We have, oh my gosh, we have death again for the recent past. Those are 2 death cards right there. That's, wow. Thank you, Spirit. That's so crazy. Okay. Near future, we have the 9 of Pentacles again. Whoa. You saw me shuffle this deck. This is beautiful, beautiful. 9 of Pentacles again. So guaranteed, right? Guaranteed your near future involves a level of comfort that you don't currently have, right? Because you are kind of, the 2 of Pentacles, I'm hearing liminal space. The 2 of Pentacles is kind of this like, I don't know what to do, like his character looks a little bit clownish. And that's kind of a tough place to be, right? There's a lot of uncertainty that you're experiencing at this time, but guaranteed, double down, you will be like granted blessings from your former experience, right? From your recent past, you will receive blessings from that. I mean, and it might not be like, oh, well, this is payoff from that. Like, but no, like it's going to show up in other areas of your life wherein, you'll find yourself able to kind of slow down a little bit, right? The 9 of Pentacles enjoys the process. She understands that the joy is in the doing, right? The 10 of Pentacles, there's completion, right? We're looking out for the next ace, right? But the 9 is in the doing. That's in the doing. Okay, let's get beneath you. We have the Hanged Man alongside the Ace of Pentacles, and above you, we have the 5 of Cups. Okay, see, and this is what I was concerned about, right? So this does seem to be an issue of, Spirit, why? So, on TikTok, if you followed me here from TikTok, then I haven't really said this here on YouTube, but I am, I do give the promise of the reading you need, not the reading you want. Okay. So I'm going to be, because I value efficiency. Okay. I do. We don't have time to screw around. So what I'm going to say right now it's going to, shoot right between the eyes, as some folks say. And I just want to give you a heads up. Your headspace is super jacked. Yeah. 5 of Cups is not a place where I want you to be at all. And it's right on the top of your mind. And not only that, I'm going to give you some tough love here. Okay. I'm sorry. Not only is the 5 of Cups right on the top of your mind, but it is alongside justice. So you're looking at what you don't have. The 5 of Cups, you can't really see it much in this card, but he's got cups that, this guy especially is just throwing him off the cliff. But he's got 2 full cups right there. This is willful grief. This is willful lack. This is, I need a mind shift, right? Like I need a mindset shift, okay? And not only are you looking at what you don't have only, instead of these 9 pentacles, right, that are in your near future, which you probably already have, right? You're seeking justice. Come on, babe. Come on. Okay, I love you. I'm sorry. I gotta be real with you guys sometimes. I gotta be real, Okay. Internal, we've got the Fool, the King of Pentacles right below the Queen of Pentacles. We've got Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords in your external. Okay, yeah. So it's not just that you want to take the leap. You're wrestling with yourself here, and your exterior is wrestling with you. I feel like, collective, you have a lot of people around you at this time that are saying like, hey, like, I need you to focus on something else, right? They're looking at you kind of distraught and wanting to, with the Page of Wands there, it's like, I can see you really wanting to make the best of things and really wanting to enjoy life in like, different ways. And like, I can see you working to make the best of things, right? Like, I'm not here to just harp on you. This is a powerful moment for you. But internally, that this headspace is not where you should be. Like, it's kind of like you're in one room, but you're in this other place at the same time, like when you're here, you're not really here. And I feel like whatever's going on around you, whether or not they're articulating it to you, they are communicating it to you in some way or another. Right. And the way that I'm seeing it show up here is the need to, you have people that need you, right? And it's possible that some of those people with the King of Swords are being pretty straight about it, you know? Hopes and fears, we have the Hierophant, and then outcome, we have the Five of Wands alongside the Seven of Swords. Don't love that. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Cups. Okay. You know, this is one of those readings where I feel like, you know, some lessons we just kind of have to integrate in a way that it might come, you know, less comfortable, because the emotions are real and they're valid, and they are, I'm hearing something about trauma, like you've been traumatized. Thank you, Spirit. And the emotions that come from that, no one can possibly invalidate you. Whatever you've experienced, you do deserve retribution for it. But like, this is a trick that like a lot of people, I wish somebody would have told me this earlier. You cannot seek retribution from anything outside of yourself. You can't. And this is kind of cosmic law, but it's also, as someone who follows Norse paganism, this is like Viking values. Like, this is like, if you have roots in, you know, and like the Netherlands, Wales, like, you know, if you have similar genetic makeup to me, like, this is literally like what the Vikings told us, like self-reliance, integrity. You cannot seek retribution from anyone outside of yourself. And looking at your near future, like, I feel that you have so much at your disposal, that really all this is going to take is a kind of release. You need release, really. Because again, those emotions are so valid, and do not let anyone ever invalidate you. Okay. But one element to this, Spirit is giving me, is like, there are always, if this recent past involved other people, there are always multiple experiences taking place at the same time. And this is part of why we can't seek retribution outside of ourselves, because you never know what other people are experiencing. And like, this is another thing. The greatest revenge is always success and indifference, right? When you stay in your own lane and you water your own garden and you're doing really, really well, that is your justice. That is your win. Justice, as we see it, that person needs to pay. Like, I'm sorry, we are not God. We don't deal in karma, right? That's not what we do. Okay. We are not here to say, like, to dish out punishment. And I feel, collective, that there may be something inside of you that does desire this, right? And that's totally normal, by the way. Like, I'm like talking about this at length, but it's like, this is normal. We're human. Like, we're barbarians. Like, this is normal behavior. So none of this is me invalidating you. I'm doing you the service that I came here to do, which is to kind of like help you through, like, you know, these tougher lessons, so that maybe in the end we can avoid this Seven of Swords and the Five of Wands, because that therein is messy and argumentative, and like that is a conflict. That is a conflict. That is a straight up conflict. And the Seven of Swords specifically is trickery. You're not in competition with anyone but yourself. Somebody needs to hear that. Okay? You're not in competition with anyone but yourself. There's a lot of illusion that we live in that tells us, like, other people are doing better than us or whatever, but you have no idea. You have no idea. And like, I feel like this is a common thing, like, that we hear all the time, where it's like, you don't know what's going on beneath the surface. It's true. You have no idea, you know? So that is, all of that is just to say that, like, literally your win is your justice, and you provide that to yourself. Your joy, your peace, right? All of that. I feel like I don't need to say this. Okay, let's get some from Poesis here. Self. We've got trigger. I was going to say this. This is a trigger. Okay. So this is our dysregulated nervous system here. We've got breathe at the bottom of the deck coming out as a reminder. We've got a dysregulated nervous system and we need to bring it down. Okay. What's crossing you? Leap. Speaking to the Fool down here in internal, there's a lot going on where I feel like, again, you've got things commanding of you and there's this part of you that just, you want to jump. It's that fight or flight. But is that the way? Recent past, we've got soften. Near future. Yeah, soften to the experience, soften freedom in the near future. You are being released from the shackles, from the burden of what you've experienced, right? Some of you guys I'm hearing are saying prayers. I can hear the whispers of your prayers. Thank you, Spirit. That's beautiful. Thank you. I've never had a vision like that before. I can hear the whispers of your prayers. I can see you like really intently, like, please God, relieve me of this burden. Please God, release me from these shackles. Like I can hear you praying and like pleading with your gods and your ancestors or whoever it is that you pray to, your higher self, to please relieve you of the experience, right? To please relieve you of the demons or whatever it is. And it's coming, right? Like your prayers are being answered here. Okay. What's beneath you? Intuition. You want to trust it. What's crowning you? Explore. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to stop there. We're going to stop there for just a second. Explore coming out alongside justice and the 5 of cups. Spirit is asking you here to ask yourself questions. Ask yourself questions. You're here with Astrid. So Astrid is going to tell you that you're the problem. Because most of the time, like, I'm always going to highlight the importance of accountability. We're not perfect, but it is our duty as humans, as stewards of the earth, as stewards of the collective, as servants to a higher power or your family or whatever is bigger than you, right? Anything, however that fits. It is our duty to ask ourselves questions and hold ourselves accountable, even if it feels unnecessary, right? This may be a situation where you feel very, very plainly that you were done wrong and there's no two ways about it. I want you to check yourself on black and white thinking if that sounds right. Okay? Just for funsies. Okay? Either way, Spirit's asking you to just take a breath. Breathe into where you are right now. Breathe healing love into whatever happened in your past, right? And then up top here, we've got this urge for you to just kind of get curious. And I like to say that it's for science, like we're asking ourselves questions. Why did I respond in this way? What did I contribute to this situation? All of these problems that I see taking place or all of these wrongs that I see happening in this situation, what was my contribution there? Like I know, you know what you did right. We always know what we did right. Okay. But what did we do wrong? What did you do wrong? Right? And be like, this is a moment where Spirit is asking you to be very, very brutally honest with yourself. That's the best way to do it. Right? That's the best way to do it. You be brutally honest with yourself and you do it like a few times, you really like allow yourself to soften and just, again, do it for science. Do it for science. It makes it easier to take accountability when you do it for science, because then you can study patterns. I could talk about that for hours, but I'll just leave it at that. Ask yourself questions and don't be shy. Okay. Internal factors. We've got wisdom. So you do know, what might be the right path here. I want to point out this is a very difficult and push and pull type of place to be. So, me offering you guidance in this way, I can't stress it enough. It is not to invalidate at all. I've been in this situation. I know that it's hard. I do. Okay. And so when you are in this place, you want to bring as much softness as you can manage. External factors. And I can see that you have that there. External factors. We have humility. There's something bigger than you. Yeah. There's something bigger than you. There's something that reminds you of how small you are in your external. And you might be fighting that because your emotions are so big, and that's okay. For hopes and fears, we have home. Abundance at the bottom. That's interesting. You just want a happy home. You just want a happy family. You just want a happy life. Like that. You want that to be your 9 of Pentacles, of course. I'm hearing some of you don't want to admit this. Like some of you don't want to admit because it's tender, right? It's tender. It's close to the heart. It's troubling is what spirit is telling me. This reality that like I just want to have a happy family. But I feel, collective, that you do have happiness in your life and you do have a family. You know, we can't control the people around us, right? I also feel with the Two of Wands being the first one, the Hierophant and home, it's like you almost are fearing that you have to leave behind something of, you know, some aspect of your life that does feel like home, right? That's understandable. Clarification for outcome. We have blockage coming out for outcome. Yeah. Oh, buddy. Child here at the bottom. So I want to highlight again what a spiritual wound this is. I can't give this reading, which is like a very real life problem that I can see that you're coping with here, collective. This is a very real life issue. This is a very real life concern. And it feels that way, right? But it's presenting as a spiritual issue. And so I want you to acknowledge that, right? Sometimes the biggest lessons, like they come in the form of massive breakdowns. But what's funny is that the tower is not here. The tower is not here. So there's no wreckage. There's just a lot of internal battle that's happening. There's a lot of pain, of wound, of like just kind of ripping open of a wound, right? And spirit is asking you to understand this as a blockage so that you can clear it, right? And you can only understand it as a blockage truly if you ask yourself questions. Something that I say is, something that I say frequently is, you know, you cannot kill a demon till you name it, but also you cannot befriend a shadow until you acknowledge it, right? And so the only way that we can acknowledge our shadows is by asking questions so that they may come forth, okay? Shadows, many of our shadows, you know, some of them are right there front and center, but many of our shadows like to kind of run and hide. Many of our shadows are very bashful, they're very shy, and they don't like to be found, right? So, but it manifests in our behavior. So when you ask yourself questions more and more about, you know, present or past, how you feel about things, you get curious, you know, you get curious about yourself. That's where you beckon those shadows. That's how you beckon those shadows forth. Wow. This was so powerful. And now there's a stillness that I just feel so strongly. I hope that this reaches who it needs to reach. I want to get you 1 or 2 cards just for advice here, Spirit, please. Okay, we've got the 2 of Swords. Take your time in coming to a decision. And the 9 of Wands. Take your time in coming to a decision. And 2 of Cups here at the bottom. And acknowledge how much work is in either of those swords, right? So like you have plenty of time. You have all the time in the world to come to a decision because you say so. Because you say so, right? Because you are enacting your sovereignty. I need time to think about this. I need time and space to think about what is happening in my life and how I am going to proceed forward. And I'm giving myself permission to take that time and space, and I'm not explaining myself. Because you don't have to, right? If that's the approach you want to take. 2 of Cups at the bottom of the deck is suggesting that there is someone around you who, you know, maybe you're in touch with, maybe you're not in touch with, but like that person is willing to kind of balance things with you. That person is willing to help you come to a conclusion here, or figure things out, right? And then the 9 of Wands, again, it's like how much effort, how much energy are you putting into this thing that's so troubling? And Spirit wants you to really acknowledge that and analyze it and think about if it's worth it, right? What are you gaining? What are you getting out of it? I want to pray for so much love and healing to come to you. I understand what it is like to be stuck between a rock and a hard place in this way, and it feels so real and it feels so different and it feels so all of these things and it's so intense. And yet, you know, it kind of feels like you never get justice, right? In situations like this, if I'm drawing from my own experience, I've found that what I feel in the moment is that I'll never truly get justice for this. But let me tell you, Spirit is saying I can share this with you, that my life and all of the trenches I've dragged myself out of, my life right now, I do feel that I have justice for my life experiences. And it's not because of what I've cost anyone else. It's because of what I've given myself, the things that I've given myself that cannot be taken from me, right? The things that I've manifested, the knowledge I have gained, my personal expansion, my healing work, what I contribute to society, to my relationships, to the people in my life, that is my justice. I can confidently say that I'm a good person. I have no regrets. I am proud of myself. I've made a series of very good decisions in my life. And I've made bad decisions as well that I have learned from, right? So again, and I feel justified, right? And so again, like this justice issue, I want to encourage you to think more about what part of you is saying, like, I need justice, right? And what does that look like for you, to you, versus what does it look like for you according to what has been told to you? And that's not just by society, that's by people in your life too. Like someone might be in your life and saying like, no, that's wrong. And they should do ba 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 ba, you know? But you truly, what would make you feel better? What would make you feel whole? What would make you feel joy again? What would make you feel peace? What would put you in this 9 of Pentacles, which is coming? It's coming. Okay? So much love, so much joy. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, if you got something out of it, I would love to hear from you. Please feel free to email me anytime. I have information in the description of this video. And I would love to hear from you guys. Okay. Please subscribe, please drop a like, please drop a comment, anything at all. These are all free ways to support a growing channel. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. You do not need to do anything to be a valuable person. You as yourself, you are valuable just as you. You don't need to bring anything. Okay. Take care.